Well, Republican Congressman Ed Royce, the ranking member of the House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Terrorism, has just returned from a visit to Pakistan. He met with the country's top leaders there. He is kind enough to share his time with us this Sunday. Congressman, welcome.
Thank you.
I want to ask you what your take was, the sense there on the ground about U.S.-Pakistani relations and how the government there is doing.
Well, I think to a large extent the government is in denial about the reality of what's going on in many of the religious schools. While I was there, they brought together 150 of these Deobandi religious leaders, and they asked them to condemn terrorism. Exactly the opposite happened. They came out basically in support of terrorism. They were trying to get a common agreement that they would be against suicide bombing. Well, there are about 800 schools operated by this Deobandi group, and those schools churn out jihadists. And as a consequence, this is a big problem for Britain, for Russia, for the United States, certainly for India. So until we get the Pakistani government to close down these schools, as the Pakistani newspaper, while I was there, said, the Dawn newspaper said, these they're closed down, we're going to see every new graduating class come out of these 800 schools that we know of right now, trained for this kind of activity.
Well, Congressman, what does the U.S. do with that information? I mean, we're offering support to Pakistan in any number of ways. Do we have the authority in any way to call them on these schools?
Well, we do. We should ask that there is no more aid until these schools are closed down. Remember, one of the things that happens is that allies of these Deobandi schools are religious leaders who are part of the government. They are a faction in the parliament, and they swing their support one side or another. When Musharraf was president, they gave him their support in exchange for keeping those schools open, in exchange for not changing the curriculum in those institutions. So what we have to do right now with the existing government in Pakistan, and we spoke to the President, to the Prime Minister, and to others in government about this, they must close down these schools. Otherwise, these graduating students aren't just attacking India and the United States and Europe anymore. They are now focused on going after the head of state in Pakistan. They are focused on threatening the Chief Justice. They just made the Chief Justice not too long ago release one of their Taliban leaders, one of their jihadist spokesmen, because they threatened his family. So that's the kind of cauldron that's going on in Pakistan, and we're not going to get a handle on this until at least the schools are shut down, so that we don't have to deal with another generation of young people who graduate there and then try to come to Britain or the United States or make their way into India in order to become part of a cell and carry out an attack.
Congressman Ed Royce, we thank you so much for your time today, just back from Pakistan. Thanks for your insights.
Thank you.